Hello class, this is the GED class. Welcome, it's good to see you again. I hope you are staying healthy. Today we are going to talk about the homonyms that are probably very familiar to you, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on them. And that is its and its. Its is possessive. Usually we have an apostrophe with possessive, but with pronouns we do not. So its is possessive. The dog ate its food. Its with a apostrophe is a conjunction. It's the conjunction form of it is. So the apostrophe lets us know that something is left out. It's time to start GED class. I believe this is something you learned in other levels, such as level 3 or maybe in others as well. So I'm going to take that down now. If you need to go back and look at it, you can back up the video. We've been looking at conjunctions. We've been looking at coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions to join two clauses. So let's look and review. Today we're going to do both of them. Coordinating conjunctions are and, but, yet, for, so, or, and nor. For example, he went to the store, but he didn't spend money. You can't just use any one of these. It has to make sense. Here, he went to the store. That's something he did. He didn't spend money. That's something he didn't do. So we use but to show that it is a change from something he did do to something he didn't do. Coordinating conjunctions are used with a comma before them when they come in the middle of a sentence. Now there's subordinating conjunctions. Sometimes you use a comma, sometimes you don't. There's many of them: because, in order that, after, as, before, once, since, until. So this is why you have to listen to English a lot and use English a lot. You can memorize the list and when they're used, but the more you're around English speakers, the more you don't have to look at the list. You just know. But we went over the meanings yesterday. Just a reminder that when, although, though, and even though occur in the middle of a sentence, you put a comma before them. Otherwise, you do not use the comma when you're using a subordinating conjunction. So we're on page 122 and 123 in the GED Prep Book 2018. I am going to introduce some information to you, a simplified version of what is in the book. And then if you want to know more, you can read page 122, but I'm not going to read it to you. There are two problems sometimes when we use conjunctions. We can have a run-on sentence where we have two sentences just stuck together. It is almost time for lunch. I should start cooking. That is called a run-on sentence. One way to fix that would be making it into two sentences. It is almost time for lunch, period. I should start cooking. Another problem is when we join them with a comma. It is almost time for lunch, comma, I should start cooking. That's a comma splice because you don't use a comma between sentences, you use a period. So one way to fix this is also to change the comma to a period. But another way to fix both of those problems is to add a coordinating conjunction or a subordinating conjunction. It is almost time for lunch, comma, so I should start cooking. In that case, I added a coordinating conjunction, so. At this point, if you would like to pause the tape and read the first, on page 122, read what they said and the examples they gave, you may do that. But and then when you're done reading, you can turn this back on and turn to page 123. The first exercise is a writing exercise. Correct the following run-on and comma splices using the methods explained on page 122. Try to use each method at least once. This is a writing exercise. I'm not going to do it for you, but if you would like to do it, you can do it and then take a picture of the page and send it to me. Text it to me or use WhatsApp to send it to me. And then I will have, I can correct it for you if you're not sure if you have it right. So, if you want to stop and do that, you can. Now let's look down at the lower part of the page on 123. There's a paragraph called photography tips, and there are parts missing. So with each one, we have a sentence, and then we have 4 options to go in the blank. I'm hoping this will stick up here. No, it's not sticking. Just one moment, I'm going to get tape. Sorry to keep you waiting. Let me take this on the board. So here is the first question. It's not hard to take great blank. Keep these tips in mind. So we have groups of words that fit in those blanks, but only one of them is correct. So why don't you stop the tape again, stop this video, and read the paragraph on photography tips and do numbers 5, 6, and 7, and then come back and turn the video back on, and we'll talk about which answer is correct and why. It's important to understand why, because writing down the right answer does not help you understand. So pause the video and then come back. Okay, I hope you've done those 3 questions. Now let's talk about them. Often when you're deciding what the middle should look like, it helps to find the subject and verb. We are joining clauses, so there is often a subject and verb in both halves. So its is both the subject and the verb. It is. It's not hard to take great something. Keep these tips in mind. So keep, here's another verb. So we may need another subject. Let's see. It's not hard to take great pictures if you just keep these tips in mind. That might work. Let's look at the next one. B. It's not hard to take great pictures. Just keep these tips in mind. There's a pause here, but there's nothing to let us know that there's a pause. So that is not correct, and there is no subject, and there's also no conjunction. That, although the subject could be you, if you have a command, just keep these tips in mind, then the subject would be you. If the subject is you, you need a period because it's a comma splice. So this is not correct. Definitely not correct. It's not hard to take great pictures. You just keep these tips in mind. Okay? Here we've got a comma, but we do not have a conjunction. So this is a comma splice. This is definitely wrong. This is definitely wrong. It's not hard to take great picture. Whoops, I left off the S. I think, yes. That just keep these tips in mind. That doesn't make sense. So that is definitely wrong. So that leaves us with A, which is the right answer. It's not hard to take great tips if you keep these pictures, if you just keep these tips in mind. I don't know if I said this or not, but if is a subordinating conjunction if you just keep these tips in mind. Why isn't there a comma? Because it's in the second half of the sentence. Let's get the second one. Question number 6. Let me put the tape on it and I'll hang it up. Blank for the right moment to shoot. They're talking about shooting a picture with a camera. What goes in that blank? Be patient, wait for the right moment to shoot. That's a problem. That's confusing. Do these sentences have subjects? They're in a command form, which means you is implied. You be patient, wait for the right moment. Wait for the right moment to shoot. Be patient and wait for the right moment to shoot. Be patient, wait for the right moment to shoot. Be patient and you wait. Okay. Be patient. Wait for the right moment to shoot. Since both of these could be commands, this would be a comma splice. You could put a period here. Be patient. Just like you might tell your child if they're not sitting down at the dinner table, sit down, please. The subject of that sentence is you because you're talking to your child. Be patient, period, wait. Okay? Be patient and wait for the right moment to shoot. Okay, be patient and wait. That could be a coordinating conjunction. Be patient, wait. No, again, this needs to be a period if it's going to be correct, and a separate sentence. Be patient and you wait. Well, for one reason, one thing that sounds funny. If it said you be patient and you wait, maybe, but no. But you would need a comma here if you're going to do that. So B is the correct answer. This one needs a comma. This one needs a period. And this needs to be a period. Or it could be a semicolon. Here is number 7. Oh dear, where did my tape go? Here it is, I dropped it. Okay. You don't have to use blank. Allow you to select the focus point you prefer. You don't have to use the autofocus option. Most cameras allow you to select the focus point you prefer. Those are 2 separate sentences. So this should be a period and a capital M. You don't have to use the autofocus option. Most cameras allow you to select the focal point you prefer. Okay, if you're not going to have any conjunction there, again, same thing. You need to have a period and a capital. You don't have to use the autofocus option because most cameras allow you to select the focus point you prefer. Let's come back to that one. You don't have to use the autofocus option. Most cameras, therefore, allow you to select the focal point you prefer. Okay. Your conjunction really needs to be here. If it was a separate sentence, you could put a period, a capital, and then you could have a comma here and here, but you haven't studied that yet. But you don't put therefore in the middle like that of the second clause. Okay, there's only one thing here that is confusing. Because is a coordinating conjunction. So I believe, even though the book marks this as the correct answer, that this comma is unnecessary. It's a subordinating conjunction. Look back in your book at example, let's see. Anyway, when you use because, if you put it at the beginning, because most cameras allow you to select the focal point you prefer, comma, you don't have to use the autofocus option. However, since it's the second part, in my opinion, that comma that was there, we don't need. But this is the most correct option. I actually believe that is a typo for the book because it does not follow the rules that they've taught us. Okay. This was the last GED lesson. Our semester is to end this week. That's a problem, isn't it? Because usually you take a GED test. So I want you to communicate with me. Let me write my email address here. Well, let's do a different one. That one's always causing problems. Beth.Barron@yahoo.org. Okay. We have just barely gotten into the GED stuff because we've been going at a slower pace, haven't we? And there's another book that went home with you. That book has a pretest at the beginning and some work you can work on your own. If you would like to do that pretest and then do the lessons, all the answers are in the book, and do the post-test, if you think you're ready to take the GED language arts test, or you think you're going to be, email me and tell me that. But otherwise, probably at the beginning of next year, we are going to continue GED. We're going to start back in on language arts because we got interrupted in the middle, and over video we can't talk about what's correct, what's not correct. I'm also open to doing some kind of Zoom class possibly, so I need you to communicate to me, bethbarron@yahoo.org. If you're really wanting to pass the GED, tell me when you want to take it. If you're just taking this for another class so that you have more to learn, that's fine too. But if your goal is to pass the GED and you think you're ready to take it, I don't want to hold you back. So communicate with me about what your goals are, and I will do my best. Caitlin will do her best, and other teachers will do our best to help you reach your goal. Have a great semester. A great summer. I'm sorry this year has been so unusual, and I hope we'll be back in the fall. It's going to be wonderful to see you again. Have a great summer. Bye-bye.